So Magomed Ankalaev apparently ducked Alex Pereira, and yeah, we got receipts for this because wow, I gotta say, a real man has to admit when he's wrong. Last week I made a video criticizing the UFC for not giving Magomed Ankalaev the title shot, accusing them of just favoring Alex Pereira, trying to find him favorable matchup, but that doesn't seem like that was the case at all. It does seem like that they wanted Magomed Ankalaev and Alex Pereira, and like I said, some very harsh truths just got exposed. Like, this is why he is never going to get a title shot. It is not because he's boring. It is not for any other reason. It is because of this, and I think I have some pretty good proof as to why. But Alex Pereira made a video talking about how he's not going to be fighting Magomed Ankalaev, explaining some of the backlash he kind of got from fans. Not a lot of backlash, but still responded to Magomed Ankalaev, and yeah, he gave the facts. In this video, Alex repeatedly says that he wants to fight Magomed Ankalaev, and if you look at Alex's track record, like I said, it shows that he has called out Magomed multiple times and said that he wants to challenge himself against Magomed to defend the takedown. And while I don't think that's a good idea for Alex to want to do, like I do think that Magomed Ankalaev is a bad matchup for him, he has still repeatedly said he wants to try, and apparently that Alex Pereira asked for Magomed Ankalaev and he declined. You can't make this up, and Alex Pereira says, look, he doesn't know what the reason why, but he does mention location. He says, I don't know if it's because of the location. Now, the location is Salt Lake City, and you can interpret this in one or two ways. Number one, the altitude problem, which I don't think that's the case. I mean, that would be even more pathetic of a case if that was the reason, but I think more likely it's because Magomed Ankalaev probably wanted to fight in Abu Dhabi, which takes place in the next few weeks. Obviously, you know, like the Dagestani fighters usually fight on that card because they have such a big fan base there, but this year has been full of rumors with these kind of fighters not being allowed in the United States. We saw this issue with Khamzat Chimaev, right, where apparently he's not allowed in the United States, which is why he's fighting in Saudi Arabia and Abu Dhabi, and he's not really coming to the United States anymore. And I do think that this is the issue, and I'm going to break down why. Now, a lot of people might say, hey Jack, what are you guys talking about? Magomed Ankalaev just fought in Las Vegas in January of 2024, which of course is what I've always said, which is why I didn't 100% believe it for the longest time. But yes, he did fight in Las Vegas in the United States in January, and that is usually where he trains. He usually trains at Extreme Couture. But I did some deep diving to see, is he still at this gym? And weirdly enough, and look, I've never been, of course, to Extreme Couture at all, but if you look at his Instagram, it does not look like he's at Extreme Couture anymore, and I don't know exactly where he lives. Not sure if he doesn't live in the United States and only comes here to train, but all I'm gonna say is that he did seem to be at this gym pretty often, and now all of a sudden it looks like he's in this different room. Like, you could see that the octagon is red, and in Extreme Couture you could tell that they're black, unless there's a room that I don't know of course, which is totally possible too. It does look like to me that he's not training in the United States anymore. And if you mix that with Jamal Hill coming out a few months ago talking about Magomed Ankalaev, saying that yeah, that apparently Magomed could not come into the United States.
I hear he can't get in the country. I heard he can't get in the U.S.
He hasn't been in Vegas in a while. That's true, because he has trained a bit at Extreme, I know.
Yeah, from what I'm hearing, he's having trouble getting into the U.S.
That's what kind of flared all this rumor about Magomed Ankalaev, and Magomed did decline it at the time, and I totally believe that Jamal Hill would have this knowledge, right? Because Jamal Hill and Magomed are in the same weight class, around the same ranking. Jamal Hill could have said, hey, what fights are available? Could I fight Magomed Ankalaev? And maybe they said, look, he can't fight in the U.S., and just told him that, and Jamal Hill kind of went out on this. So it is totally 1000% possible that Jamal Hill would have knowledge of this if this whole thing is true. And Alex Pereira in this video, I think, says it perfectly about this whole situation with Magomed Ankalaev. It is not up to the champion to take these opportunities, like unless you're Alex Pereira, which he just does, right? Stepping on short notice to defend his title. But it is not on the champion. It is up to the challenger to accept that opportunity. Champion says, look, I'm ready to fight. Who's ready? And you take that opportunity, you fight, and maybe you do come up short. Maybe it doesn't go perfectly. Maybe you aren't 100%. But I think that's the point he's trying to make, is like, look, I'm the champion here. I am supposed to dictate this kind of stuff, so why are you complaining about silly stuff like a location? And if this is true, this would explain Magomed Ankalaev's long layoff, why he's now fighting in Abu Dhabi. I think we're gonna find out soon if this is all true, because after Magomed Ankalaev fights, we're gonna see what happens. Does he get a title shot? Does he fight on the Saudi Arabia card that maybe happens in June, that's like so far away for no reason? If he's fighting on these kind of cards, I 100,000% believe it's true. And of course, this could all just be a coincidence, and the UFC could just really not like Magomed Ankalaev, and that's why I didn't get the title shot, and they just moved him to Abu Dhabi. But I think Alex Pereira saying maybe location, kind of hinting at it, maybe he knows something that he's not letting on. And if you look at all the facts, that would be a total viable solution as to why he's not fighting Alex Pereira in Salt Lake City. And this isn't even the first time Magomed Ankalaev has ducked Alex Pereira. I mean, look at UFC 300. He even admitted himself he was offered and declined Alex Pereira. And of course, I understand Ramadan is such a sensitive topic. I don't really even like to judge fighters for not necessarily fighting during it, but you do have guys like Bilal Muhammad who stepped in on a couple weeks notice notice to fight Gilbert Burns and beat Gilbert Burns and risked it all. And I think that is most of all my problem. Like, Magomed Ankalaev doesn't seem like he is the type of guy to say, look, I'm gonna put it all on the line. He seems to be the type of guy that wants that perfect training camp to go fight. And look, I'm not a professional fighter. Magomed Ankalaev does this for a living. If he loses a fight, that greatly affects his career and greatly affects his family. So I don't necessarily like want to judge him and say, oh, he's scared, he's a coward, this and that. But the facts are the facts. If you're presented an opportunity, you can't be upset when you don't take it, even if things aren't working out for you. The only person you could be mad at is maybe your life situation or yourself. And I don't believe Alex Pereira is ducking him. He has called out Magomed Ankalaev multiple times, which is why I did not at all criticize Alex Pereira and say this was his fault. I assume this was the UFC trying to find a good matchup for him, but I would not be surprised if he was offered Alex Pereira and maybe even declined it. And to my knowledge, I don't think Magomed Ankalaev has ever confirmed he wasn't offered Alex Pereira. But do you guys think that Magomed Ankalaev is ducking Alex Pereira? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. You guys can check out my last video about John Jones ducking Tom Aspinall, because that is a guy who's actually ducking. I'm also going to leave a video on the screen about the Casey Kenny situation, a big update in the Casey Kenny situation. He got arrested. Click the video to find out all about it. Truly an interesting story. But guys, thank you guys for watching. You guys are the best fan base in MMA. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.